Shalom, Kol Halal, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakaha Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners among the heathen, that look like those heathen, the Israelite foreigners. And to the few Akwaf that are listening and learning to you, I say shalom. Once again, a shout out to the 144,000, the judges that are going to judge the earth in the name of the Lord. All right, this is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you another lesson in truth. And beloved elder bro, Yahshua sent me this video. And like the scripture says, know thy brother. And no, I would not be able to not respond to this. And this is really a touchy subject. But it just goes to show you the hypocrisy of Esau, Edom, and the double standards when it comes to murder with this kill them all video, and the bloodlust that Esau, Edom has, and how they've taught these children and these youth lies. These people, you know, now the older people know, the well-educated people know, but what they do is they teach their youth. So these people grow up, these Edomites grow up, you know, Idumi Caleb, all right? They grow up believing that they really are the people of the Lord, that the land in Western Asia, all right, which they fraudulently call the Middle East, and which is a big fraud, is definitely Western Asia. We will produce the receipts, all right? And these people believe that they really are the people of the book, and they're not. They are Hadumi Calebs. They are the people of Edom, the hated people of the Lord, the only people that's promised no mercy, the only people that have their prayers are ignored. There's no place of repentance. I believe that's Hebrews 12 and 16. All right. So let me read this scripture first. This is Jeremiah 16 and 18. And I can't wait for this to happen because some of them have come to this understanding, but I can't wait until they're all forced to face this truth, including especially people like this young big mouth woman here on this fat mouth woman on the screen. But this is Jeremiah 16 and 18. And it reads, and I will first recompense their iniquity and their sin double. All right. So they're going to get it double. Remember Revelation 18 and 6. Esau Edom's going to get double the destruction that we did. And you know they did us dog dirty. All right. Because they have defiled my land. They have filled my inheritance with the carcasses of their detestable and abominable things. O Yahweh, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction. The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanities and things wherein there is no profit. All right. So it is vanity and no profit in these people continuing to try and claim the heritage of Israel with all this historical and biblical evidence that is showing you that they're not. And the pride.
I just think we need to kill them. Every one of them, and that's it. And if not that, because the country will not let that happen, the government. I just think we need to kill them, every one of them, and that's it. And if not that, because the country will not let that happen, the government. The least.
Now, when the machine guns and the bayonets are turned on her, we'll see if she still has that same energy. Just saying.
We can do is just kick them out of our land, because this is our home, this is our land, and we deserve it.
Yeah, I think colonialism gets a bad rap. Like genocide is bad, but
colonialism gets a bad rap. Colonialism and genocide go hand in hand. Doesn't the scripture say something about it, you know, that having the pale hair, that having the yellow hair is leprosy? But yet, you know, can't even go in the sun. Got to stay in the shade and cover up. But these are the people of the Lord.
Places that are genocidal and they have bad ideology, it's good to come in and correct their views.
Sound like you're advocating for ethnic cleansing?
I don't think so, because
it's good to come in and correct these brown people. Correct them by genocide. Because that's exactly what this is. And this is on the BBC. All right? And this video is called "Israeli Settlers Are Coming for Gaza." The Lord is coming for you, Idumi Caleb. All right? So this won't last that much longer.
Palestinian isn't an ethnicity, it's an ideology, and it's an ideology that says that they want Jews dead, and so we want them as far away from Jews as possible.
As the Israeli military,
and when you really do your research, you find out a lot of that ideology is coming from their own sources so that they have an excuse to do exactly what they're doing.
begins its third attempt at ethnic cleansing northern Gaza. Israeli civilians are preparing for their shot at capturing real estate. You would assume that because everything we're about to look at is in violation of international law, that they would be conducting these meetings in secret. They are not meeting in secret, though.
See, the law is, the Israelis can do whatever the hell they want, and they've proven that over and over again, that they are above the law. And that's what happens when you control, when all your people are in a position where the laws are made and controlled. Because if any other people were doing what they're doing, the world would be condemning it. Well, should I say the powers that be will be condemning it and trying to come against them. All right. But these people can commit these most heinous, crimes, and it's just dismissed as if it's not happening. All right. And this video is a hard one to watch, and I don't want to play too much of it because, this when you tell truth like this, it hurts, and, and then it's perceived as hate when there's nothing but hate being displayed, but telling the truth on them. Well, that's where the problem comes in, because we've seen in America how, whistleblowers and people that tell the truth, Edward Snowden and Julian Assange, when you bring the receipts of wrongdoing that the West has committed, they don't look at the people who committed those crimes that put the nation at danger. They look at the people who try to put a stop and an end to it. All right. Those are the people that get demonized. This is Proverbs 16 and 19. It's not Proverbs, Salakia. Yeah, Proverbs 16 and 4. Yeah. It says, Yahweh have made all things for himself, even the wicked for the day of evil. So these people, they definitely are the wicked. Esau, Edom is the wicked. It makes that very clear. Malachi makes that very clear in Job, the 9th chapter. It makes it very clear that the Lord hates them also in Malachi and in Romans, the 9th chapter. All right. And exposure of their lies is a part of their hate. Okay. And it says the Lord changeth not. Verse 5. Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to Yahweh. Though hand join in hand, he shall not go unpunished. So there, people have joined hands with them. And a lot of even some actual Israelites have joined hand with them. And guess what? You're going to get destroyed by them. Because if you can't tell me that this is one proud individual, all right, that is one proud little murderous devil right there. Devil means deceiver. All right. And she's been deceived. And now she's passing that deceit on because she believes that she's something that she's completely not. She is a Hebrew Edomite from the line of Esau, Jacob's brother. Okay. That is her true biblical nationality. She is a Hebrew Edomite, poser, claiming to be Jacob. It tells you in Ezekiel, the 36th chapter, that the Edomites would claim the Holy Land. They would claim it for themselves in the latter days. This is Ezekiel 36:2. Thus saith the Lord, power, because the enemy have said against you, aha, even an enemy, even the ancient high places are ours in possession. Aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession.
Existential threat. Now, let me tell you what they see as an existential threat. Trump getting into office. Did they try to take him out? I don't know. They're saying that it was Israel. Israel's like, oh, hell no, we would never do that. Aha. They would never do that. Aha.
All righty, let's keep it moving. Down to Ezekiel 36:5. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea that have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their hearts, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. So the original inhabitants and the Ishmaelite inhabitants over there are being casted out. And then they said the Palestinians not even a real people. They're the Palestinians. You're right. They aren't the actual Palestinians were at what you call Africans today, all right, who were pushed out of that land a long time ago, all right. The Palestinians in that land, for the most part now, are Ishmaelites, and what's left of the actual Israelite foreigners that still were there after the fall of Rome, after the fall, not the fall of Rome, but after the fall of Jerusalem. Okay. They all didn't flee the land. Many of them lived under the boot of the new inhabitants and intermixed and mixed in, in. So there's still some bloodline Israelites among the Palestinians. All right. That's a fact. But we're going to let this guy talk about the origins of the Yiddish, and the Ashkenazi. Okay. And remember the Sephardim were the Moors and Morenos, the Hebrew Israelites that were cast out of the Moorish and Hebrew Morisco Judeans that were cast out of Portugal and Spain after the fall of Portugal and Spain, the same year that Cristobal Colon sailed. All right, when the portion of Asia that they now call Europe became anglicized. All right, they changed the name to Europe. All right, and so all these new names and all these new things came about to try to bring on new social constructs. One of them being a false social construct of what we now call whiteness. All right, that's a false social construct. There's no such thing as white people, just as there's no such thing as black people. Those are both social constructs that were created to hide mainly to hide the identity of Esau, Edom. All right, so here we go.
Of decades, mainly between linguists. That question is the origin of Yiddish language. Now, Yiddish is a language that consists of German, Hebrew, and Slavic elements, written with Aramaic letter, and it has been spoken since the 9th century.
Since the 9th century, right after the conversion. All right. Now, and then it was changed yet again, and then they used the Assyrian script, just as he told you. And I tell you that is the evidence against them, because the house of Judah. All right. The house of Judah, the house of David, the receipts. I got a dictionary Bible right in front of me. The coinage that was used and the form of writing that was used by the Israelites when Jerusalem fell to the Romans, to Titus. All right. And when they were scattered and went all into different parts of Asia, the parts that they call Europe now. All right. When they scattered into North and West Africa. All right. And when they went far east in Asia, when they scattered, all right, they were writing in the ancient Phoenician form of Hebrew, in the what they call the Paleo Hebrew. All right, it was the northern kingdom that went into the Assyrian captivity. So the house of Judah had no reason. They used the Assyrian script as a cloak. All right, to try and hide who they really are, because they knew that the Northern Kingdom came here to the Americas, and when they got here to the America, they began to write in their own form of language again. And so it would have been too obvious as to who, even though there were many books written by scholars, anthropologists, and politicians, that the people here in the Americas were the lost tribes of Israel, from their customs, from their languages, and from the thing, even their way of life. They were keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. They even had almost like sanctuary cities. They were keeping the Shabbat. They were keeping the land Sabbaths. They were doing all sorts of things that there's no way that they could have not have been the lost tribes. So to hide that fact, they hid that the converts, these people, begin to use the Assyrian script. All right. And has fooled the world into thinking that that's the way, like the form of Hebrew that you see the Israelis using today. Well, that's a fraud. All right, because the house of Judah never used the Assyrian script. All right. So now that he said it, I'm gonna back that up with the definition from the Oxford Dictionary, that gigantic Oxford Dictionary that I have behind me, of the whole English language. And now technology, the book is so big, so heavy, and all the wording is so small, you need a magnifying glass. But now with these new cameras, you can magnify the camera and just take a picture of the definition. So it proves what he just said. Screenshot this immediately, Yasharala. Yiddish, all right? Anglicization. See, they and that whole Anglo-Saxon thing, even though they're lying about that, the Anglo-Saxons were not pale, but we know they claim that now. All right? Of the Yiddish, all right, of the Jewish. The full German name is Yiddish, Dutch, Jewish, German. The English words have been adopted in German as Yiddish, the language used by Jews in Europe, Ashkenazi. All right, remember, Jew is a hijack for Israelite. They replaced the Israelite with Jews, especially when it's speaking about Edomites. And that's where all the confusion comes from to this day, all right? In Europe and America, consisting mainly of German, all right, origin from the Middle Rhine area, with admixtures according to local or individual uses of Baltic, Slavic, or Hebrew words printed in Hebrew characters, but not Hebrew characters, actual in the Assyrian script, because it was actually a printed in Hebrew characters. It will look more. It will look more like this. Okay. So that's the Hebrew at the top, the Assyrian script. At the bottom is the script that they use, the Assyrian script. Well, the kingdom of Judah that actually lived in Jerusalem at the time of the fall, they never used that writing that's on the bottom. The converts used that because they were trying to separate themselves or not show forth the evidence. See, if they were writing like they were supposed to, and then that would have made all the politicians, anthropologists, and people that wrote about the natives in America being Israelites, well, they would have been guilty way back in the 16, 17, 1800s, early 1900s, as they found this writing, the actual Hebrew, all over the Americas from Canada to Brazil. So there's no denying that. So for any of you black onlys, just shut up. Clearly you're not learned. All right, if you believe in that. Okay. So the evidence is this. As a matter of fact, let me make sure I put that definition in my into my evidence folder. All right. So let's go to the evidence folder and let's grab a couple more definitions, because I spoke something about Europe, and I love this, Eurasian. So if you missed this the first time, screenshot it. Okay. It says Europe, Asia, in sense, if compound, Eurasia, of or pertaining to Eurasia, to Europe and Asia, considering as forming in reality one continent, Eurasiatic. So it was all, so Europe is not a continent. Europe is in Asia. It's always been Asia in the Bible. When Paul went to Spain, all right, when they went to Rome, they were in Asia. The Europe thing was added for the false racial narratives that they created, just like they created the term Middle East. All right, here's a map of Asia right in front of me. And as you can see, just because they paint the portion of Asia that's Europe, it's still Asia. You can walk from Spain all the way to China. All right, you can get in a vehicle and drive from Spain to China. There's nothing. It's one continent. All right, they divided it up. All right, fitting the prophecies that Esau, Edom would do that, removing landmarks and changing the names and naming them after themselves. All right, Esau, you look, you're destroyed, man. You're found out. You're found out. All right, let's grab a couple more scriptures. That would be Micah. You know, that's what we do here at Great Millstone. We say something, we go to the scriptures, we go to the history. You know, this is Micah 2 and 1, and it reads, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand." All right, you know, going back to her. Okay, they kill them all. Little Miss kill them all here. All right. "And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses they take them away, so that they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage." Now, granted that the Palestinians in the land of Israel, that's not their home yet. I mean, that's not their home either. All right. But these people have no right to go in and just murder them the way that they're murdering, committing this genocide on them, targeting babies, children, and women. All right. Trying to exterminate the seed that these, you know, trying to get rid of the blood, these men's children. All right. "Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, behold, against this family," that's you, little Miss kill them all, "do I devise an evil, for which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall you go haughtily, for the time is evil. In the day one shall take up a parable against you, and the lament and the doleful lamentation, and say, we be utterly spoiled. He hath changed the portion of my people. He have removed it from me, turning away. He have divided our fields." So everything you're doing is going to come back on you manyfold. All right. These people, through their actions, have made themselves the most hated people on the face of the earth at this point. And see, they've propagated, those false narratives of all these things that supposedly happened to them, which when you examine the evidence, things get quite questionable. But their actions as of lately has really made the people of the world hate them for real. All right. And that's because of their own doing.
There was Islamic masters, and there were white Ashkenazi Khazar ship owners. There were the buyers and the sellers. And they're not going to fill you in on all of this, but really you've got a 4-tier system. Number one, you have the Negro nomads that were exiled from the kingdom of Judah,
who used Paleo-Hebrew.
Number two, you had indigenous black African hunters,
Hamites,
that resented the regal Negro nomads that had come into their territory with their own customs, with their own laws that were different and would not
biblical. We followed the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Bible.
Assimilate into their tribal culture. They were their own tribe. They were the regal house of Judah. And number three, you had Islamic trappers that worked with the indigenous black Africans to trap the regal Negro house of Judah.
Take note of the scriptures that the brother put on the bottom. This was GMS Sadak Aram who put this short clip together and plainly just put the scriptures there that break the whole thing down. All right.
And then you had them sell them to the Ashkenazi ship merchants. Is it enough to go further back? Do you know how many blacks in America have been lost to Islam?
Still to this day.
It's outrageous. That's not your tribe. Your tribe is Judah. Muhammad's tribe enslaved you.
Exactly.
Why would you convert to Muhammad's tribe when you're of King David's tribe? Don't convert to the tribe that enslaved you.
So the same thing could be said about Christianity, which is what he's pushing. This is Deuteronomy 33 and 29. Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people saved by Yahweh, the shield of thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellency, and thy enemies shall be found liars unto thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places. And when you speak the truth, you're walking on the faces. You're walking on their lies. You're treading on their high places when you speak the truth about Idumi Caleb claiming to be Israel. Call halal Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakah Hakwadash, Kwam Yasharala Abad Babal.